like to pour down.
GMB.
Thugger. I wake up in the morning, still high from last night. Ain't got no time to chill, I got to get my cash right. New rollie and my diamonds look like flashlights. It's more than you can do when they ask me what's the price.
I'm Slim Thugger, the boss of all bosses.
That's right. Now look who creepin', look who crawlin', still ballin' in the mix.
Well, it's the Mr. Slim Thug, boss Hogg. If that's Slim Thug, if you don't know, ho, open up your eyes, cause when I pop up with my top up, you gon' be surprised.
On September 8th, 1980, Mary Lou Thomas gave birth to a 10-pound, 4-ounce baby boy. Stave Jerome Thomas was the youngest of Mary's 7 children. Never knowing his father, Miss Thomas bore the burden of raising 7 kids alone.
The youngest out of 7. I always thought he would go to college. I tried to get him to go to college, but he started this rap.
Man, I grew up on the north side of Houston, Texas. Born and raised off of Homestead from Senate-Wood, and then, like I say, around my early teens, I moved to the northwest side to Acres Home. I was maybe about 11 or 12 around then. I was back and forth though, you know. So half of the time I was raised on Homestead, the other half in Acres Home. So, you know, we was all over, man. I kind of moved everywhere.
He was about 14 or 15, and he used to take me to work early in the morning. Like, I had to be to work at 6 in the morning. I worked all the time. And my oldest daughter, Raquel, she just about watched them. And my brother, Michael, he watched them too while I was at work.
He played basketball a little bit in junior high, but really, Slim was just into the music. As a little kid, we was everywhere. So as far as around the house, we really just didn't have hobbies. We didn't have little leagues. You know, Mama ain't have time to do that with us. So we played around the house with each other or whatever. But junior high, he played a little basketball, but that didn't last long. That didn't keep him focused. He was fixing up bikes or fixing up Hirsch or fixing up cars, just anything like that. Honestly,
I wasn't into sports at all growing up. You know what I'm saying? It was in the streets, you know what I'm saying? It was going down on the block. Everybody, I remember, you know, when I wasn't a kid no more in the house, you know, doing regular shit, I started to come out off of Guff Bank and Antoine. It was just fired up on the block. It was like, I lived right next door to the school, but it was so much action on the block to where, you know, I wasn't trying to stay after school and miss nothing. Coaches used to always tell me, come play basketball. I wasn't down with it though. Yes, sir. Riding through motherfucking Senate-Wood, Texas. Gore Street, man. We used to be around this motherfucker, just getting into a bunch of bullshit. I got a bunch of partners still locked up from shit they was doing back then. I got a cousin just came home from shit we was doing way back then. Missed everything. Missed all the Swisher holidays. Missed the Pharrell days, everything. Just getting home, man. A bunch of my partners still gone, man. This neighborhood don't even look the same to me no more.
Now look at me, I'm living in the land of the stars. Rollies and all the malls, mansions and penthouses. Went back, bought my hood and
yeah, man, we out here at Homestead. This is my grandmother's house, man. We spent a lot of my childhood out here. Got my brother Ernest out here, my Uncle Mike, you know what I'm saying? Mainly this like from when I was a baby to, you know, a teenager. I spent a lot of my time over here at my grandmother's house. This over here in Senate-Wood. Shit, you know.
Man, it's all that I know. All that I know. All that I know. 1,000 till I fire riding on these fuck niggas. Fuck them all, man. It's all that I know. Dreams of throwing Forgiatos.
Hey, I'm Slim's grandmother. And I used to care for him when he was a baby, for his mother to go to work. And he was a very good baby. When he got a little older, he was a little mischievous with his brothers and sisters. But they got along so good. They got along together real sweet children. Yeah.
Let it go.
Let it go, Matway.
Now, where you from, so I can know where we from?
Natchitoches, Louisiana.
Natchitoches, Louisiana.
Natchitoches, Louisiana.
Yeah, she got 11 kids. How many is it girls and boys?
I got 7 girls and 4 boys.
7 girls, 4 boys.
4 boys.
And my mama is
The oldest of all.
Yeah.
Mary is the oldest of all.
That's it.
Although Slim grew up in a tight-knit and loving family, the influence of the streets would prove to be too great for his older brothers. They had crack houses near their grandmother's house. Slim himself dabbled in the street life, occasionally stealing cars to help restore his.
I've been to jail a few times. Not nothing too crazy where I had to go do some real time or nothing, but you know, I've been in jail for, when I was 15, I caught an auto theft case. A lot of just, you know, curfew, a lot of that going on, evading arrests. You know, I got a lot of little petty cases though, like nothing major, you know, not nothing as a youngster. As a child, man, I kind of looked up to my older brothers, man. They would really get money, and I seen them, they twin BMWs back in the days, you know, it was a big deal back then. So, you know, they was eating, and that's kind of who I looked up to as a child. As I grew older, you know, I had other guys like Sleep Dog and Shy, you know, show me a whole other side of the world. Like we was thinking swingers, you know what I'm saying? You know, I remember growing up, out through my teens or whatever, I wanted a candy slab. I had my first car when I was 15. And you know, I used to steal other cars to try to, you know, fix my shit up, or would hustle, kick dough, whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? To try to get some money or whatever, and fix up cars. I'm really into cars. I would say if I did have a hobby, that is it. So, you know, I grew up around trying to put the slab together. And then as I got older in my later teens, I met with Shy and Sleep Dog, and they was doing farms and everything else, and they just was living on a whole other level that made me see life in a whole other, you know, way.
After constant requests, Slim's half-brother Tay-Day agreed to write his first rap. Slim then began to hone his skills by recording himself on a home karaoke machine. Later on, partnering with best friend and aspiring MC, Stessel Hopkins. They say that the things you experience make you who you are, and Stave was rapidly transforming into the man that would one day perform sold-out shows for thousands of fans. But that road would take a tragic detour that would claim a life.
Take a sip of the liquor, blunt and drove to the dome. I still can't believe my nigga Stessel is gone. Supposed to be sitting sideways with me on chrome. It's fucked up, I'm stuck, one deep on my own. Was too young.
Yeah, when Stessel passed, it kind of broke Slim's heart. Well, it did break Slim's heart. That was the first time that I see he was broken. He was like, you know, depressed for a minute there. Like he couldn't believe that, you know, him and Stessel used to hang around each other every day, and Stessel wanted to be a rapper, so you know they hung tough. So it was a really hard time for Slim when Stessel died. So yeah, that was the first, I think, real person that he just lost that he really cared about.
Growing up, man, like I had one of my best friends was Stessel Hopkins, man, back in the high school, I remember. And we was starting to rap together. Like, you know, after my karaoke days, me and him used to get together and do freestyle. He called himself Bozo, and we talked about making it, man, and doing this music. And, you know, before any of that could happen, he ended up getting a car wreck and losing his life. He was a passenger in a car, and one of the guys, the young cats, was racing. Two different cars was racing, and at the same time, one was trying to lean out the window or something, and ended up hitting the light pole, and he ended up losing his life. And, you know, that was like my best friend. That was tough, man. You know, for somebody you kick it with every day, you know, just to lose him like that was devastating in my young years. But you know, I still represent for him to this day, man. You know, I feel like we both feel representing and holding it down.
As if losing his comrade wasn't hard enough, tragedy would strike again, and Slim would lose a mentor.
Now, Sleep Dog, man, he was like our OG, man, a big brother, big homie. You know, we really looked up to him. You know, he was like one of the first ones out of our crew to get money.
Like I said, we seen them and how they was getting money, and it really inspired us, you know, to get on our grind, man, and take it to the next level.
Back in the day, all me and Slim, we had a race. We always wanted to get to 10,000. That was our goal, having 10,000 in the stash and a slab. And you know, and then Sleep came around, man. You know, he fresh out the pen. You know what I'm saying? He got an iced out presidential Rollie. You know what I'm saying? He got a Cadillac, the new Cadillac with TVs in the steering wheel, the headrest, and the trunk. You know what I'm saying? And he had it was candy. He had a drop. You know what I'm saying? He had diamond chains and shit back in '98, '99. So you know, we looked up to him.
Actually, our relationship wasn't that long, you know. Like I met him, and I don't know how long it was after that. He ended up getting killed. So you know, we had a good relationship, but it was short. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't known him that long after we finally got cool and got close. You know, he lost his life or whatever. So
shit, you know, when he got killed, it was fucked up for us. You know, it was like. Shit, man, we took a big loss with that. You know, he was our OG. Shit, we learned a lot from him.
Before the Swisher House was officially formed, a street DJ and MC duo promoted teen parties at a popular Northside hangout called the All-Star. The duo, now known around the world as DJ Michael 5000 Watts and OG Ron C, also used the venue as a recruitment pool for up-and-coming talent.
I met Slim Thug in the late 90s at this place called the All-Star. It's a place, it was a team place that me and Ron C used to promote every weekend.
We started letting the rappers doing a little open mic, letting the rappers rap at the end.
And I got introduced to him by Lil Mario from Acres Home. Mario said, I got a homeboy, he got some skills, man, he go hard. I said, man, just bring him up here to the All-Star and let me check him out.
So I kind of like, hey man, let me get the microphone, let me freestyle right quick, you know, just right quick, just to have fun or whatever. So I did it, and the crowd gave a good response, you know what I'm saying?
So he went out, came up to the All-Star, he freestyled, I thought he was pretty dope. So the next day I asked him to come by the house and lay something down.
Lil Mario had already went in there 1 week before, or 1 month before or something. He was on the tape before that just dropped. So we ended up getting together. Me, Lil Mario, and J-Dog ended up going to Swisher House. That's back in '98, and doing a freestyle. And ever since then, man, that shit just kept catching on fire. You know what I'm saying? And getting bigger and bigger.
Swisher '98, right? The first mixtape that Slim Thug got on the mind was Swisher '98, and he rapped over the Homies and Thugs remix. And with that freestyle right there, he got a phenomenal response from that. And that freestyle had him, J-Dog, and Lil Mario on.
Mr. Slim Thug, the whole pro show rocker. I got a drop on top of and a bad bitch and nickel boppers. When I walk through that ice and look more tight than your daddy. Piece of chain, breaking rain, ripping green in my caddy. That big back road got so much clothes. It'll buy your family in Waco. Make a hoe say, uh-oh, I think you better get Mako. Ain't no shit about who I'm with. Swisher House be my boss. I break ones off when I open my mouth. From the north and the south, these niggas knock me, but they stop me from making my cash. I'm showing my ass in no glass and keep a G stand. Living my dreams at 18 and a clean bucket, but fuck it. If you don't like me, come fight me. Put my dick on and suck it. Swisher House be the boss of the street. Smoke sweets and make freaks. In your dick every day of the week and get you drunk when we speak. If that's Slim Thug, if you don't know, ho, open up your eyes. Cause when I pop up with my top up, you gon' be surprised. When I put some swingers on the skirts, I swear the God is gon' hurt. I've been a boss since first. You boys don't know what I'm worth. See, I'm gon' shine all the time from 9-8 to 9-9. Pumping pound out on the grind. Nigga nigga destined to shine. I'm fresh out blocking, back on the block to make my pockets increase. Collecting my knot and ain't gon' stop for no whole police. I'm 17 and looking more clean than Bill Gates' son. Stacking my green, living my dreams, but I still make some. I get your crunk like a starter, so power set the recorder. Dick me a starter and get more cash than Jordan. From San Francisco to Florida. You gon' hear shit about me, say some shit, and see some shit about me. Now who the shit will I be? In the seat at this time, the one that glow out open like it's a fashion design. A nigga reckless in Texas, a country boy with a Lexus, mean painted Texas, same me, young in the hood.
Man, I represent this. Well, actually, after I dropped Swisher 98, it's the buzz started taking off crazy, you know what I'm saying? And people, you know, they wanted more. And I began to get serious because I remember Michael Watt sat me down. He didn't give us no money to do no freestyle, but he did give us tapes and CDs to sell, you know what I'm saying, to make some money. So he'll give me like 100 tapes and, you know, I don't know, maybe 50 CDs. I go to Chocolate Town at the time, was the Northside Club. You know, I go out there in that parking lot and get rid of them CDs and them tapes so fast, and the money was so fast, and it was legal, you know, kinda. You know what I'm saying? It was kinda legal, but, you know, I didn't see myself going to jail for selling those CDs and tapes, man. So, you know, after I seen that, the grind got crazy, and I got more serious about making better freestyles, and we just kept working, man, working, and then eventually Watts was like, hey, man, we need to do an hour freestyle. Maybe it was my idea. I don't remember way back then. But
this right here was a freestyle mixtape that he had did all on his own. He recorded it all on his own, and it did pretty good, man. I was really proud of him, man.
It was a mixture of all my freestyles I did at the time with some new ones.
So when Slim Thug came out with I Represent This, man, that was just like, Slim had already started becoming just the voice of the North, if you would say, and you know, because his rap skills. So when he dropped I Represent This, man, that had the streets so crazy, because now I could get all of Slim Thug. I ain't got to get Slim Thug with everybody else. I ain't get nothing but Slim Thug. Slim Thug was getting the most, you know, he was, you know, I was taking all the calls, so I know. You know, I was booking all the shows, so, you know, I know everybody was screaming, you know, niggas was calling for Slim Thug, because at one point in time, we had to divide up the Swisher House, because we was getting so many calls for the Swisher House. But when we was trying to send this group over this way, they said, nah, man, we want to make sure Slim Thug, the Slim Thug dude come, you know, with, you know, this. So it became a demand for Slim Thug, because, hey, man, Slim did what he's supposed to do, man. He came in that motherfucking booth, man, and just wrecked it from the get-go, man.
And, you know, when I dropped that, I remember buying a drop-top Rivy, putting some, you know, fresh pair of glass swingers for Mr. Davis, man, and I was drop-top, fifth-wheel, pop trunk at high school, so I was feeling myself at that point.
That boy made some money. We still to this day, we just talking about this the other day, me and T. Barry talking about I Represent This when I came. Boy, they made some money off of that, man. You know what I'm saying? This was the greatest hits of Slim Thug, man. Yeah, that was loud right there, man. I still got it on my iPod right now, on my iPhone. We riding the slab when we broken. You know, we got that in the playlist a little bit here and there, you know what I'm saying?
I'm finally getting what's mine for being out on the grind. It's Slim Thug time to shine in 1999. I'm still behind.
The Kappa Beach Party, affectionately known as the Kappa, was a yearly spring event started by members of the fraternity Kappa Alpha Psi. This event drew people from all over the country. It was here that the Houston-born crew would begin to make a noise that would resonate far beyond the boundaries of Texas.
Man, Kappa Beach, we ran to Kappa Beach, man. It was like, that was our time. You know, at that time, we'll go out there and whatever we got, we selling. It's selling out. You know, shirts, Swisher High shirts, you know, the CDs, the tapes, man. I just remember going out there and making so much money with shows, and we kind of ran the Kappa, man, in 99 and 2000 and all that. We was getting so much bread.
Kappa Beach was like the one key event in Texas that people came from across the country to Houston or to Galveston, which was pretty much Houston. You know what I'm saying? They would come down and represent from across the country and put it down at the Cattle Beach Party and get their rides together, their outfits together, you know, like our Freaknik or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That was like, that's how we did it. People would come down to Houston and come to Galveston and put it down for the Cattle Beach.
It was like the dope corner, man. You know what I'm saying? That Capitol Beach Party became like the dope man get up every day and go to his dope corner, right? But we got up just once a year, go to our dope corner, but that dope corner was so fucking, man, it's just everybody get out there. It's like 15, 20 niggas out there, nigga. But it's like 15, 20 niggas got to service 500,000 people, the dope.
In 99, we started making a mixtape for the Capitol Beach Party, so everybody that was going there, they could jam this mixtape. This was a Capitol themed mixtape, right? And the Capitol started being like one of our biggest mixtapes ever. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Capitol 99, I think that may have been one of, no, before the Capitol 99, that was one of the early mixtapes that Slim Thug was on it. He freestyled on I Wanna Be a Baller by Lil Troy. And that was a huge freestyle right there. It was a big successful mixtape for us.
Ride swinging things, piece and chains, taking ranks like Leo out I'ma break them boys off and remain the game fame for my dogs out the north.
Houston is the 4th largest city in the country. In a place so vast, it is easy to become comfortable in your immediate surroundings and isolate yourself. Circumstances such as this make it easy for similarities to become blurred and differences to become the catalyst for conflict. Prime example, the infamous North Side versus South Side beef.
It was more of a street nigga thing than it was really a rapper thing. That's what a lot of niggas didn't know. Like, blue cars wasn't allowed on Martin Luther King.
Southside was a red color. They just, you know, what they thought. Big Mo saying everything. Came the red. Northside at the time, Slim became the hottest artist over there. Everything they did was blue. So it almost became that the North adopted the color blue, Southside adopted the color red. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much how it was, you know.
It's just different. There's braids and fades, you know what I'm saying? There's braids and fades, you know. A few of the Northsiders had stole some Southsiders cars, man, and some jackets was going on, and you know, they was on with the music back then, so they put it in a rhyme. And you know, everybody just started feuding.
I think the South Side took offense to that because they went out there and robbed a few people. And so they began to screw tape say them North Side niggas, you know, with the braids or whatever, be robbing and stealing and, you know, doing or whatever and busting off and all or such, you know, so that kind of kicked it off or whatever, you know, and made people, you know, look at each other different.
What even brought it even to that height is you got both of these cliques. Swisher House was the shit on the North, the shit, and you know, screwed up clique, and it went far as from a street thing with the cars and niggas coming out that jacket and niggas going out there doing their thing, breaking niggas off. It got real heavy, bro. It was a bunch of niggas got fucked off.
The North Side, South Side beef was, for the city at the time, it really just divided us because it wasn't no ifs or buts. You know, if you was from one side, that's where you was from, that's what you did, you know, what you represented. If you was from the other side, you might just get beat up just because you was from the other side of town.
You know, it was just two different worlds.
As you see, Screw created this whole genre, if you will, that, you know, a lot of these rappers still live off of to this day, you know, representing the South Side. And, you know, I think, you know, then Watts came along with the Swisher House or something, you know, for Northsiders to be part of the, you know, what was happening, what was hot on the scene. It was a lot of turmoil at that time, man. It was turmoil between the organizations. It was turmoil from north to the south.
At the height of the conflict, veteran SUC member ESG did the unthinkable in reaching out to the Northside's ambassador of underground rap.
ESG was in jail at the time, man, and he came home. And I guess through being in jail, he heard a lot about me, I think he said, and he reached out to me, him and D-Rec and them from Rec Shop. They was, you know, killing it at the time, had Big Mo, everything. It was on a lot. So he was like, hey, man, you know, we've been hearing about you or whatever, doing your thing or whatever.
You know, in my eyes, I was like, man, I need to do it. I had a vision of a song, Braids and Fades. I was like, I want to do a North and a South Side song. So at that time, Watts was just jumping off of Switch House. So after listening to everybody over there, I was like, man, I want to do a song to catch Slim Thug. Let me find him.
At that point, it was one of the first songs in the midst of this Northside Southside war where two prominent artists from east side of town actually worked together, collabed, and pushed the real song.
They pretty much stopped all the bullshit. And it's like the nigga got so many projects that niggas don't even pay attention to that was real major and pivotal at the time. Even the Big Unit, when he did it with Kiki, you know. But him and ESG coming together with the Braids and Fades, and then they actually did the whole project, bro. That shit was crazy. It was what the city needed. It merged the city.
Not only did the ESG collaboration help calm tensions in the city, it also furthered the Slim Thug brand. A brand that was growing at such an alarming rate that the house that Slim and his partners in rhyme had built was starting to feel constraining.
We just started making a lot of money, man. Like, our order went from, hey, give me 100 CDs and tapes to thousands of CDs and tapes. And I think Watts was like, you know, hold up, y'all making too much money or something like that. I don't know what it was, but anyway, I'm grinding, so I'm starting to live a new lifestyle and get used to this money. And I felt like when I put in an order with Watts, it was coming too slow. You know what I'm saying? It was coming too slow. I'd be waiting weeks or whatever. And I was like, damn, I ain't got an order yet, what? So I felt like he was kind of holding us back a little. You know, I don't know what reason it was. I don't even know if that's really what happened, or he just might have been busy. I don't know, but that's how I felt. So with that, we began to try to make our own shit. We went to the stores and tried to burn our own shit and get our own blank CDs, and we used their shop. Like, we used to sneak in that motherfucker. We got a key somehow to where they pressed it to the pressing plant where he pressed the motherfuckers up. Like, we wouldn't steal none of his material, but we'll go in that motherfucker and use his machine and press up our own shit, you know what I'm saying? Our own orders. Me and my brother Ray, we used to do that shit. Like, we'll go in there maybe at midnight and don't come out there bitch till the morning time. And one day we got caught in there. He walked up on us. So after that, he kind of changed the locks. So then it was like, man, shit, you know, he really cutting off the water over here, man. Like, it was just, you know, I don't think we were just seeing eye to eye with that. So at that, I was like, man, you know, I just felt so confident in myself. I said, man, fuck it, let's do our own shit.
He wasn't eating like he could have been, so he started Boss Hogg Outlaws.
Slim outgrew the Switch House at that point. You know, that's how I see it. Like, I mean, he was the hottest artist around there, and it got to a point, man. Life is all about excelling and going to the next level. So if you at a level that you outgrow, you gotta go forward and go and do what you have to do. You know what I mean?
Davin's too close up on that. He's like the Davin's now. Davin's 10 G's, baby.
How much?
2 sets, 10 G's, baby. 2 sets. I got a set on there. You gonna see my Impala, the newer kind on there.
I ain't playing no games this year, baby.
Presidential, baby. The boss.
Huh.
They don't see my gold grill.
Let me zoom in on that.
It's gonna be platinum.
Let me zoom in on that. Let me get a good shot of that. Yeah.
Even in his beginning, his mantra and rallying cry was that he was the boss. Now on his own, it was time to be the message he sent. It was time to be the boss he rhymed about.
Boss Hogg Outlaws was started with Slim. He was going in and doing a solo thing from Swisher House. He was going on his own, and him and Ray, they was like, man, we're gonna make our own mixed CDs. So shit, and everybody used to call Slim Boss Hogg, so he was like, I'm gonna start my own label, Boss Hogg Outlaws. So we just shit, he did his freestyles, and we put the most jamming songs at the time on there, and pressed them up, and shit. I think the first one was Coming Out Hard, and shit, they took off.
How we picked our artists, man, it was kind of like random. Like, I think Sir Daylight, he went to high school with me. And he was just really my homeboy, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, he wanted to rap, you know, and I was like, all right, come on, you know, and then Lil Duty, I don't know how he came through, maybe through my homeboy Dre or something, you know, I don't know. I don't really remember, like, it wasn't no strict things, like, and then it just kind of came together. PJ was somebody I went to high school with, and he was from Swisher Highs. J-Dawg was from Swisher Highs. We brought him over there with us from Boss Hogg.
And you know, Slim thought of an idea to bring in some more niggas that he felt like that was repping on the South Side end, which was Chris Ward was already doing mixtapes with Slim. And just so happened then that me and Ward was in a clique called Mob Style. Ward see fit to bring me in, and I went over there one day and to jump on a record, and Ray say, nigga, that gotta be a Hogg.
While still becoming comfortable being the captain of his own ship, Slim would again travel into troubled waters. His most vocal naysayers would be people he once performed at sold-out shows with while building the Swisher House name. In true hip-hop form, Slim prepared to meet the challenge head-on.
I did Underground Hogging, man. Like, that was my second All Freestyle. First one was The Boss, the second was All Freestyle, Underground Hogging. When I dropped that record, it just kind of, it was good. I was doing good off of it. And then out the blue, I remember my homeboy saying, man, these dudes, they made a diss CD about you. I'm like, what you talking about? He got the name, say Lil Mario, Big Pit, all of them, you know, basically all my homeboys who I kind of came up with in Swisher House, who I was rapping with. It was like 17 dudes I remember counting. And they all got on the tape, and they was, you know, talking shit about me, like, you know, fuck Slim Thug, all kind of shit, man. It was just really surprising to see that many people who you know, because like I said, those are my people who I roll with every day. We did shows. A lot of that came from, I think, my personal opinion, a lot of the hate came from, I was always making Watts give me my money. Like, you know, if I go to a show and it say Slim Thug and the Swisher House, hey man, I need that. He got me doing more songs, you know, so give me my money, I need more, you know what I'm saying? And it came, that ain't fair. We rap for Swisher Highs, we don't rap for Slim Thug. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of that. It was a lot of hate from all that there came about. So they began to, you know, group up and kind of box me out, kind of. So, you know, they put the CD together, man, and I just listened to it. I remember listening to it, and I was just excited because I was like, man, you know what? I'm finna go bad on it because I got the type of homeboys who gon', hey, them niggas getting in your shit. You gonna let them niggas say that? You gonna let them niggas say this shit? Like, you know.
I remember one time, man, I was having some problems with a couple people in there, right? You know, I'm not a rapper, so Slim said, man, you know what, Watts, don't worry about it. I'm gonna handle it for you on my next mixtape. I remember he told me that before he dropped The Boss, right?
I just remember we used to be at Slim House and we was always upstairs running wild, you know, so we was in the other room playing the game. He would be in the next room, right? You could hear the beat, Ray Face in there mixing and putting shit together, and you could just, he ain't come in the room and play the game or nothing. He was so focused, he stayed that one room and wrote damn near the whole CD in one night.
You know, I think it took him like 1 day or 2 days to do the whole mixtape, man. He just, you know, you can see, man, that boy, man, when he motivated, man, he could come with it, man. That boy came with it up there, man.
Everything he was saying in there, man, it was the truth. And then just being about the Boss situation, you know, he was showing it.
And that was one of the hardest, you know, like beef CDs ever. You know what I'm saying? That's like, to me, it was the hardest beef CD ever, just because of all the stuff that was going on. It was just like, oh man, I can't believe all this, and he just speaking on it. You know what I'm saying? It might get lost in today's, you know, when people look back, because they wasn't up on everything that was going on at the time. But you know, when we all in it, we hearing the mixtape, you know, he was spitting some bars on there. You know what I'm saying?
Just the way that he rapped on there, his delivery, the way his cadence, his punchlines, and he never really was the punchline nigga. He was the factual rapping nigga that rapped so good.
I dropped that mixtape and, you know, Controversy sells, man. When I say it's sold, it's sold. I made a lot of money off of that. I remember buying Harleys, new cars. I done had a slab in the garage. I had BMWs. I remember buying them $10,000 Davins back in the day. Me and my boy shot the first dudes in the city coming down. I had them on my Impala, on my Escalade, on my Cadillac. Like, at that time, man, we was living it up, man. We was in that 6-bedroom house, just making music, man, and living, man, having a good time. Me, my brother Rico, Dre, all my people, man.
After the success of Braids and Fades, followed by the song Candy Coated, ESG and Slim Thug decided to capitalize on the popularity of their collaborations and create a label situation of their own.
Boss Hogg and Entertainment. What? Big Dinero Entertainment. ESG and Slim Thug. Feel it, man.
Okay, me and ESG, after we dropped the Braids and Fades, which was on his first album, it had so much street, it was a street hit basically, and then, like I said, it kind of died down the north side, south side flicks. So we instantly saw that we had good chemistry.
I told Slim, I say, look, man, we can go in here and get our own breed. You ain't got to worry about watch them cutting you a check. I ain't got to worry about Rick Chop cutting me a check. Boom, I walk in the office. I say, look, baby, this Slim Thug, you know why I heard him? I say, look, man, we're going to do our own stuff. Break bread with us right now. What they can do? Back then, they like right then, boy, like he gonna 50 racks. Boom. And just because I felt like I had a little more experience in the music than Slim at the time, I was never feeling like, man, well, look, Slim, I'm gonna take 40 or 30 and give you 29. We bust everything out straight. Boom, boom.
So after that, we began to work more, and we decided to do a whole album together called Boss Hogg Outlaws with another guy named Sin. So it was SES. He was the producer. Me and E was the rappers, man. And we started a company called SES Entertainment.
Slim, E, Sinclair. Sinclair was the engineer, producer, doing all the tracks, recording everything, over all the music, helping us on day-to-day business stuff.
Get Your Hands Up was a huge song out here in the southern region. At that time, it took off, did good.
Man, I never forget. I forgot who passed that single up, but somebody else had heard the beat. Sean Blaze did the beat. When I automatically heard it, the music talked to me. You know what I'm saying? All songs I ever did. Like Swinging the Bank, Solo didn't think he did. Like Swinging the Bank was one of his favorite songs. You feel me? That was my partner's favorite song. It became the one. Like Get Your Hands Up. That one. Like people in the studio, that was their favorite song. You know what I'm saying? So at that time we was like, we had a song with Bun B. So we was like, that was the first one that we leaked. You know what I'm saying? It got us a little people to pay attention, but it didn't shake up it didn't shake the head. When they heard Get Your Hands Up, it was crazy. It was over with. It was like back then we was getting like 1,000 spins a week from all the different radio stations, you know what I'm saying? And man, I guess it was just so melodic, you know what I'm saying, the way we did the flow. Boom, boom, boom.
Also after that, the CD ended up selling over 100,000 records independent. So it was like, man, it was real big for the city, man, and big for us at the
I just know whenever you make an anthem track and you got the right people on it, you got the right music, everything is in sync, you're gonna have a hit, and they did, and I think they did it without effort too. I don't really think it was a whole bunch of trying. I think one of them or both of them came together and said, this is the idea, we want an anthem, and this is the one that's gonna shut down the clubs when they play in the clubs, and that it did, and it's one of the old school classics. Now, you can still play that song right now, old, young, grandma, the kids, you play it at the cookouts, all that stuff from the 90s. That's one of the tracks you can play. And they still gonna Get Your Hands Up. So it's still one of those classic joints.
After finding the courage to chase his dreams, coming back from devastating losses, and establishing a name as the voice of the North Side, Slim would lend his vocals to a song based on an old release. Along with Northside Titans Paul Wall and Mike Jones, the song Still Tippin' would not only paint the picture that the world would see as Houston, it would take him to a new plateau in the process.
Me and Watch did Still Tippin' for a Swisher High song. It was supposed to be a Swisher High song. It was me, Mike Jones, and Chameleonaire on the song originally. We did it on a Big Time beat. I told Big Time a long time ago, about the hook or whatever.
The beat was a little bit different. The song was a little bit faster. But then we, me and Big Time, we had our differences at that point. So he had his version, and then we created our version for Swisher House.
The song was actually for Watts or whatever, like for Swisher House kind of. So Watts ended up changing the beat, getting Sally to make the beat, and he kind of just flew our vocals on that with the chorus.
The beat that I heard is not what you hear today. First of all, the beat I heard was just a violin, with just a little bit of drums on it, and that's it. And it was, man, what the hell am I supposed to rap about to some violins, man? You know, we swinging and pulling up and all this, man. Man, what are we gonna rap about to some violin? So T. Barry said it was just, you know, freestyle on, do whatever you feel, just freestyle, put a freestyle to it, put a flow to it, bet, okay? So I went in there, put my flow to it, and just rap it. That means just we rap about whatever. There ain't no just certain topic, you rap about everything. So we put it all together, and that was just, you know, my verse on there. And you know, next thing you know, T. Barry said, hey man, I got a surprise for you. He let me hear the song with Still Tipping with Slim, Mike Jones, and me on it. Now I just couldn't believe it. I was like, man, is that gonna be for real or what's up? Because, you know, I'm still at that time. That's when me and Chameleon was, you know, we was on our separate paths. So a lot of people wasn't fucking with me at that time. There was a lot of people that was feeling like, man, my career is over because me and Chameleon are split up. I ain't nothing without Chameleon there, or feeling like, you know, just whatever. They just feeling like that's how they felt. That's cool. But, you know, I showed them though, you know what I'm saying? So but I appreciated it at the time. T. Ferris putting me on the song because, you know what I'm saying? I could have missed that. I could have not been on Still Tipping, man. So I mean, praise God for that. But when I heard it still, it was just like, man, that's the same one I ran. You get Slim and them too. How you get that on it? And he just said, man, they threw him on it because they had a discrepancy with the beat, something about the beat, so they put this other beat on it. That's how he made it when I had rap too. So that's how you hear it today.
Because Mike Jones was the Swisher House artist at the time, taking off, he put the Still Tipping with his record, you know, as his record or whatever. So, you know, it began to take off, and man, it just did. That was like, if not the biggest song in Houston, man, one of the biggest songs in Houston, man. It just sent a whole new wave across the city and across the whole country, you know, and let them know about the Houston culture, man.
Still Tipping is one of those classic joints. Again, you can put that on in the club right now. White, black, Hispanic, across the board, male, female, old, young. You put that track on, you can't deny it. You can't talk no trash about it. You can't talk down on it. If you do, you are absolutely hating. It is a classic song in Houston, man. Still Tipping is a classic song. Slim, we can do this all day with a whole bunch of Slim Thug songs. The kid was a part of a lot of classic songs. I was lucky enough for him to jump on one of my tracks that happened to turn into a classic. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just happy he was nice enough to be on it.
I'm getting it, in the kitchen hitting it, just so I can buy a diamond chain, that's signet. Just so I can pop 100 bottles, that's signet. Just so I can buy another Porsche, that's signet. I'm getting it, in the kitchen hitting it, just so I can pop some more tags, that's signet. Just so I can buy them new J's, that's signet. Just to fuck it out for my bitch, that's signet.
Boss Hogg Outlaw, goddamn Slim Thugger, goddamn it ain't.